Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is JJ and I'm going to be doing a pick a card. This pick a card is not going to be for the faint of heart. This pick a card is going to touch on some raw stuff. This is only for the people who are really willing to do the work, who are committed to their spiritual growth, who are committed to, not saying that none of you are, but just know that things will, it's kind of like looking in the mirror and you have to be honest with yourself. And so the topic of this pick a card is what behavior needs to go? What behavior is holding you back? What behavior is not allowing you to progress on your life path, on your journey, on your goals? Just which behavior needs to go? I think that's the simplest way to address it. I feel like Spirit really wanted me to touch on this. It just came out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere. Of course, Spirit communicates with me, but I feel like it's Spirit is saying we've done a lot of growth, and I feel that many of us who follow me on this channel are ready. Or if you come across and you're new, then you are meant to hear this reading at this time. All my readings are timeless. All my information is in the description box below. All my timestamps are pinned in the comment section. I will let the ambulance pass and ask Archangel Michael to please accompany the people who have requested or are in need of the ambulance at this time. Hope everyone is well. Let's let them pass. I'm sorry, you guys. I do live around the city, so we don't get an ambulance very often where I live, but sometimes we do. So for option 1, we have aquamarine. For option 2, we have tiger's eye. And for option 3, we have hematite, if I'm not mistaken. So let's get started with option 1 to kind of break the seriousness of the topic. We are going to pull some cards here from the Rebel deck at the end of each pick a card. So let's get started with option 1. For those of you who picked option 1, we have aquamarine. And so let's see what behavior needs to go, what behavior is limiting you, what behavior is holding you back on your path. Again, this is not for the faint of heart. This is for those who are willing to do the work. And if you are here, congratulations. And I hope this helps you change this behavior into a more positive aspect. So let's get started. So for those of you who picked this one, what behavior needs to change? Okay, Pisces, I believe. Okay, Pisces energy. What I'm getting with this Pisces energy, Pisces is a wise soul. Pisces is the last zodiac sign of the whole zodiac, right? It's the last sign of the whole zodiac sign. So what I'm getting here, stop trying to numb things, okay? One of the behaviors that you do need to stop at this time is stop trying to numb the pain. Stop trying to escape, okay, to a fantasy world. Spirit is saying you really need to accept reality for what it is. You need more clarity, more definition in your life. You need to process things better. I feel like you tend to miss things because you want to see the best in everyone, because you want to see the best in every situation. And that's not a bad thing. But sometimes we need to look at facts for what they are. Sometimes we need to accept the situation for what it is. I'm also getting here, stop repeating mistakes. There's a cycle. You tend to be in a cycle. Your life has been a cycle. And I feel like you tend to repeat a lot of things. And Spirit is saying if you chose this deck, you have Pisces energy. So that means that you're very wise, but you're also very gullible. Okay? Again, I'm not trying to offend. That's why I said this is not going to be for everyone. This is going to be only for those who are willing to do the work and who are really wanting to look at what they need to change. So it's not going to be for everyone. I'm also getting here, you need better boundaries, especially around family, especially in relationships, okay? We also, I am hearing you need to take off those rose-colored glasses here because you're a dreamer. And that's a beautiful thing, but there needs to be a balance. There needs to be, it needs to be balanced out with not just wanting to look at the best at everything, but also, like I said, being in touch with reality. I'm also getting here, be careful of cynicism. I'm also getting, stop getting lost in other people's dramas. Pisces is it's the zodiac sign that sacrifices themselves, a lot of themselves actually, for other people, especially for those that they love, those that they consider family, those that they consider part of their tribe. They give to the point that they leave nothing to themselves. They keep trusting that people have changed, and sometimes people take advantage of that. And so Spirit wants you to be aware of this behavior, because in order for you to move forward, you need to set healthier boundaries. And I'm getting emotional with this because I feel like we can relate to this, and many of us can, especially when it comes to family, right? We give a lot, especially when we've seen repetitive times that this person hasn't changed, or this person isn't healthy, or the relationship is toxic, or the situation is toxic, and it's drowning us and we're gasping for air. We still stay there. We still give the person, that situation, a chance, because we hold on to the idea that they're gonna change. And Spirit is saying it's time to address that behavior. I need to take a deep breath. Give me a second. I'm also getting here, you're not a victim of your circumstances. You're not, again, Pisces energy is the martyr. They feel like they are the victim. Not all Pisces, but people who chose this, you kind of tend to fall into that victim mentality. And Spirit is saying you're not a victim of your circumstances. You're not a victim of your past. You're not a victim of anything. Okay, we can rewrite the story. This is for you to feel empowered. I'm not diminishing what happened to you. I'm not saying that your pain is invalid. I'm not saying that what you went through doesn't count. But I am handing back the wand of power, the staff of power to you, to get out of this cycle and to remember that you can change your story, that you're not that person. Okay, you're not that little person anymore. If this is something that happened to you in childhood, you're not in that situation anymore. Yes, it wasn't a good one, but you've learned from it. Okay, I'm also getting here, stop sacrificing yourself. Like I said in the past, don't sacrifice yourself for others. I know this is a noble gesture, but not everyone is deserving of that gesture. We need to use discernment, and that is when I was saying that we need to take off the rose-colored glasses, because we want to see the best in everyone and in every situation, especially people who picked this pile. And Spirit is saying not everyone is willing to change, and not everyone, sadly, is deserving of that nobility that you give. I'm also getting, you tend to get lost. You tend to get lost in the fogginess, in that fantasy world that you escape to. Because Pisces is that escapism, right? You want to escape your problems. And Spirit is saying sometimes you need to face them head on, okay? In order for you to move forward, in order for you to accomplish your goals and achieve the success that you want in your life. Sorry if you hear my neighbors outside. Yeah, because see, you tend to go in cycles and cycles. And sometimes you're like, why am I here again? Why? I've been here before. But Spirit is saying it's because, again, you're too gullible. Okay? You're too gullible. And sometimes living in that fantasy world, or believing that people are going to change, is what gets you through the day. But Spirit is saying it only numbs you for a while, but it doesn't solve the issue. Yeah, you sacrifice. Exactly. You have to be discerning of who is worthy of this sacrifice. Not everyone is. Spirit is saying, because what happens is you get lost in other people's emotions. You get lost in your fantasy. You get lost in this fog, this Neptunian energy. What happens is that it makes it impossible for you to make a choice. Exactly. You get stuck in the energy of the fork in the road, of not knowing what you want. And Pisces also is a sign that embodies every other sign, is a sign that can easily pick up others' behaviors, others' emotions, other people's drama, other people's murkiness, unhealthy things. And so because you take up on so much, at the end you don't even know who you are no more or what you want. And so Spirit is saying we end up here in this fork in the road. But remember, you have the wisdom. You have the wisdom. You have Pisces energy. Pisces has been through everything. It's the last sign of the zodiac. There's a lot of wisdom you can tap into. Stop denying also the situation for what it is, because when you stay in those rose-colored glasses and in that denial stage, you can't move forward. Yeah, the Knight of Cups. He over-romanticizes. He's in love with the idea of love. So for many of you, you stay in relationships that are not good for you, that are not healthy for you. And you have to learn to accept the fact and accept things even when you don't like what's being said to you, even if you don't like what is being shown to you. Because you accepting that will set you free and will set you on your path to success, will set you on your path to where you need to be. Knight of Air. You're an intelligent human being. You're an intelligent person, but you need to be decisive and don't be idealistic, because you tend to get lost in that. And then we can't see things with clarity. See? It's a cycle. Some of you tend to repeat cycles. Events that occur with great speed. Yeah, some of you just want to solve things, or you're just like, I want to get, I'm going through something difficult and I don't want to deal with it, so I just want to skip to the good part. And Spirit is saying, no, you need to take time and accept the facts. Time to carefully review your options, creative solutions. You need to take time to review things. We just can't fast forward things. We just can't skip through the ugly. We just can't pretend like there's a big elephant, like there's not a big elephant in the room. We need to address that elephant in the room, even if that makes us uncomfortable, even if that makes us anxious or sad or angry. It's okay to feel your emotions. It's okay for you to be honest. It's okay for you to say, hey, you know what? That's not acceptable. I'm not doing that anymore. I gave you several chances and you haven't changed. Because if you keep perpetuating this behavior, you're always going to be stuck in this fork in the road of not knowing. And I love the fact that it's the 13th, because that to me leads to the death and tarot. So there needs to be a transformation. There needs to be a death here of this behavior, transforming it in some way. That doesn't mean, be mean and don't be noble and don't make sacrifices. No, it just means be more discerning of who is worthy of this. And I'm getting so emotional, and okay. Your angels are with you, number 44. So don't think that I'm bashing you. Don't think that I am being mean. Again, like I said, this reading wasn't for the faint of heart. It was for those of you who are really wanting to do the work and who are really wanting to grow spiritually. And part of that is looking at ourselves. Because we can't change the world, but we can change ourselves, right? We can change behaviors of ourselves. And I'm getting also from Spirit, do not cling on to people. Do not cling on to situations. And again, because you believe that they will change. So that is your reading. Now I'm to kind of also get me out of that energy, I'm going to pull some cards here from the Rebel deck just to kind of, you know, not to leave you with the heavy energy. Let's see. Okay. So we have, get yourself together and put your stuff together. I'm not going to say the bad words. Help people, give back, do good stuff for humanity. And I love how it says, get yourself together, pull your stuff together, get in touch with reality. Don't deny, don't be in denial, okay? I know you're a good person and I know you want to see the best in everyone, but sometimes, like I said, that holds you back instead of allowing you to move forward. Detox. Drink a smoothie, unfriend that person, and throw some stuff out. Exactly. Who do you need to unfriend? Who doesn't respect boundaries? Who do you keep giving and sacrificing to that they're not doing in return? Take a trip. Go see some stuff. Do some new things. Talk to people cooler than you. So again, you know, it's time for you to take care of yourself. It's time for you to refill your cup and stop giving and giving and giving and giving to the point that you're not leaving anything for yourself. So that is your reading. I hope you enjoyed. I wish you the best. Take care of yourself. Bye. So for those of you who picked Tiger's Eye, option number 2, let's see, what behavior do you need to stop? What behavior is holding you back? Again, this is not a reading for the faint of heart. If you skip the intro, this is a reading for those of you who are willing to do the work, who want to be honest with yourself, and who want to continue to grow on their spiritual journey. And that includes looking at ourselves with honesty, okay? And and changing behaviors that are not serving us on our path. So, with that being said, the 10th house, the world. Okay. A lot's coming up. Again, do not shoot the messenger. This reading is going to get very raw, very real, and very in your face. So if you're not ready for that, you know, just exit out. So with this particular card, what I'm getting for you, the behavior that you need to change is stop trying to achieve fame at all cost. Let me say that again. Stop trying to achieve fame at all cost. That is what I am picking up. Stop trying to achieve success at all cost. Stop trying. I'm also getting, because the 10th house is Saturn, it's Capricorn. So I'm getting a workaholic vibe. I'm getting the vibe of leaving everything for later and just focusing on work. Focusing on what needs to be done. Focusing on achieving my goal. And I feel like many of you learned this behavior from your father. I'm picking up a lot of father energy here. So, and a lot of you, I'm picking up also, again, this is not going to be for everyone. I said this reading was going to get in your face. It was going to get very real. So I'm going to keep it honest. Some of you are trying really hard to meet expectations, to make your father proud. And what I'm getting here from Spirit is that what you want? Is that what you want? Do you want the same thing as your father? For some of you, it's going to be your mother. Okay, because this is a general reading and there are so many of you. But I'm getting specifically father. Do you want the same thing as him? Spirit is saying having ambition is great, is a fantastic thing. But it's out of balance in your case. Spirit is saying you want to be on top of the world. There's something that you want to achieve, and you are hyper focused on this thing that you want to achieve, that you have forgotten about everything else. Again, having a work ethic is amazing. Having the ambition, having the drive to be successful, wanting that recognition is amazing. It's a great quality to have, but not out of balance. We need to have it in a healthy, balanced way. Not to the point where we're sacrificing other areas of our lives. Just make sure you're doing it in a healthy way. And if you pick this pile, it's because you're not doing it in a healthy way. So some changes need to be made. Spirit is saying you're missing opportunities because they're not up to your standards. Spirit is saying you have overworked. And I'm getting, because many of you maybe don't come, maybe your childhood there wasn't a lot of stability in your childhood. So now you're working really hard to maintain a sense of stability. Maybe, again, this reading, you guys, okay, I just have to stop saying that. If you guys are watching it, it's because you guys can handle it. Many of you have watched your parent maybe work so hard and never really reached a sense of stability, financial stability, being the 10th house. And so maybe now you've adopted that of like, or maybe your parents always told you like, you need to be secure in life. You need to make sure that you reach your goal because you need to have a solid foundation. And again, that's good. But it's become unhealthy. Spirit is saying you're overworking yourself, your body, your spirit, and your mind. Spirit is saying you're too focused on your reputation, on what will people say. There's a fear here of losing your status, of losing your job, of losing your stability. Spirit is saying you're falling prey to wealth, to the recognition that comes with your hard work. You're falling prey to routine. You're not wanting to do new things. Earth signs get really, once they find what works for them, it's very hard for them to get out of that routine. And so for many of you, I feel like this is what is happening. You're afraid to step out of your routine. You do not want to do anything different. You don't want to explore. You don't want to try new things. And that's why Spirit is saying you're missing opportunities because you're so set in your ways. Again, having discipline is amazing. Having self-discipline, having that motivation, that drive, that stamina, that's amazing. But we need to also remain a little bit flexible and be willing to learn new things and adapt new things. And I know you're going to say, well, if it's working, why can't I keep it that way? Yeah, some of you are so focused on getting to Treasure Island. You're like, once I get there, I'm going to do everything else. Once I get to where I want to be, then I'll be happy. Once I get to my goal, then I'll focus on love. Once I get to my goal, then I'll focus on my children or my significant other or my family members. Then I'll have fun. And Spirit is saying, no. You need to take your home with you. You need to take what you value with you on your journey to Treasure Island. Spirit is saying you have a hard time believing. You feel like if you don't work your butt off to the point where you break a nail and you're burning the two ends of the candle, then you're not going to achieve this success that you want. And Spirit is saying that's not how it works. You need to adapt a little bit of Pisces energy here of believing, trusting in spirit, trusting in magic. I'm also getting that you tend to be very overprotective of your space, of your personal space, whether this is your home, your work. Spirit is saying you need stillness. You need to stop and taste the sweet nectar of life. Let's look at your other cards here. Yeah, for some of you, I feel like you missed on love opportunities too. because you're like, I need to achieve this first, then I could get married, then I could have that relationship, then I could dedicate time to my loved ones. Spirit is saying, stop saying no to invitations. Some of you don't even want to go out because you're so focused on your goal, on your career, on what you want to achieve. Four of Water, missing an opportunity, discontentment or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibility. Exactly, because you're so hyper focused on your goal, you don't see what's going on around you. You don't see that love opportunity. Or like I said, you miss out on opportunities because they're not to your standard, or they don't go well with your routine. And Spirit is saying, you're missing out. You need to accept those and go out, have fun, connect with your loved ones. Because things get boring. And if you're really honest with yourself, you know this is true, and you get bored. And sometimes you're like, man, I wish I had this significant other, or I wish I could. But then you go back to, you're like, no, I need to achieve this stability. I need to achieve this goal first. Trying to see if I can pick up anything else here. I just keep getting, stop saying no to invitations, because you feel that your safety, your comfort, your day-to-day, your routine, your survival are more important. Stop putting your work first. And try new things, try new opportunities. Step out of your comfort zone. Maybe by you taking up on those opportunities that feel like they're not up to your standards is how you'll get there faster. I feel like you need to find stillness in your mind and leave your hectic schedule for a while. I'm getting live while you can. Yeah, because all you see is work. You stretch yourself too thin. Work, Pentacle, Pentacles. And the Ace of Swords. We need to cut this away. We need to be honest with ourselves. You want this victory at all cost. For some of you, even handling a relationship feels like too much, because you're so focused. You're like, I don't have time for anything else at this time. Go out, have fun. Some of you are like, why haven't I met someone yet? And Spirit is saying, well, if you stop saying no to the invitations and you go out, maybe you'll meet your soulmate. You'll meet the one. So now, to cut a little bit of the seriousness of the reading, I'm going to pull some cards from the Rebel deck. Okay. Okay. Time to let go. Stop trying to be too controlling, because stuff can get ugly real fast, is what I'm getting here. Time to let go. Move the hell on. You equal tight stuff. Loosen the hell up. Control freaks don't get laid. Again, because Capricorn energy loves control, loves their routine. They have a schedule for everything. Okay, and so stepping out of that is very uncomfortable. Rebel. Yeah, you need to rebel. You need to tap into this rebel energy here, because why not? So that is your reading. I hope it was enlightening. I hope it helps you move forward on your journey. And now I'm going to move on to option 3. So for those of you who picked option 3, hematite, let's see, what behaviors do you need to change here? What behaviors do you need to let go in order for you to keep advancing on your path? The moon, soul. Okay. So the first thing I'm getting here is stop being too logical. Okay, that's for some of you. I feel like this one is going to be a mixture of things because I'm getting stop being too logical. Listen to your soul. Listen to your intuition. Listen to that voice within you. For others of you, many of you, I'm getting stop bottling your emotions. Stop trying to bury your feelings under the rug or eat them away. Don't hide your issues. Stop trying to protect yourself. Again, that doesn't mean that protecting yourself is bad. But I'm getting here from Spirit as you protect yourself so much in the fear of getting hurt. They're saying you avoid people, you avoid situations, you avoid relationships out of fear of being hurt, out of fear of being in a difficult situation. Yeah. You protect yourself, you isolate yourself, you keep things to yourself, you stay too much in your head. When you're going up the mountain, when you're struggling, you keep this to yourself. You don't share it with anyone. You're very private about your stuff. I'm also getting stop hiding. Stop hiding who you are. That's a behavior that needs to stop. I'm also getting watch how you respond to your emotions. I'm also getting allow yourself to shine. Spirit is saying the moon conceals. So you conceal too much of yourself from the world. There's so much that you don't share. There's so much that you keep bottled inside. The giveaway. You have to give away more of yourself. Spirit is saying sometimes you keep so much in there to the point where you have these emotional outbursts. I'm also getting stop being dependent on how others respond to you. Be careful of substance abuse. Be careful of using things to numb your feelings, to numb your emotions. Spirit is saying stop hanging on to things that are not good with you with the hope that sooner or later things will change. Let me repeat that again. Stop holding on to things, to situations, to people with the hope that sooner or later they will change. You need to be honest. See the truth in every situation. Again, there's a sense of denial here, very similar to option 1. Stop romanticizing the past. You need to open up. Open up to love again. Open up to relationships. Not just even love, but to relationships. You're afraid of intimacy, of getting close to people because maybe you have been hurt in the past. And I feel like you've kept your heart under lock. And I'm getting for Spirit, you need to open it up and reveal yourself for who you are. You keep a lot hidden. A lot hidden. And Spirit is saying, don't live in the clouds. Don't live in the fogginess. Also, be careful how much you give. How much, the giveaway. Be careful how much you give to others. Spirit is saying you give so much to other people. And when these people don't reciprocate back, when business partners don't reciprocate back, when relationships don't reciprocate back, you resent them. You resent them because you're like, I gave so much of myself and you're not giving me not even an inch of what I gave you. And Spirit is saying, well, why'd you give so much? That's a behavior that we need to change. That's a pattern that we need to change. I'm also getting an old wound. An old wound needs to heal. The Hanged Man. Because if you keep doing this, what it's gonna keep you is gonna keep you here in limbo. It's gonna keep you here tied, not being able to move forward, things being stuck, not getting out of this situation, feeling like you're sacrificing in some way. Like things aren't moving forward with you. But Spirit is saying you're keeping yourself here. The story behind the Hanged Man is he hanged himself, right? In order to gain enlightenment. I feel like once you heal this, once you stop this behavior, there's a sense of stability that will come in for you. Exactly. You'll step into the energy of the King of Pentacles. You will feel confident. You will feel like you're on solid ground. Make sure you're also in touch with reality here. Make sure that you aren't getting lost in that moon energy, that Neptunian energy here. I feel like you tend to daydream a lot. And I feel like many of you need to ground those dreams. I'm also getting here honesty, accepting things at face value. It's time for you to come out of denial. It's time to peel off the layers of denial and illusion that will set you free and that will allow you to step into the King of Pentacles energy. Yeah, there has to be a renewal. Review and evaluate. You need to review and evaluate the facts. A favorable assessment of the facts. Time to move on in a new direction. Exactly, because you're here, the Hanged Man, and you can't move in any direction. And I feel like Spirit is saying it's time for you to move on. You can't stay here no more. You have to set yourself free. It's time to see the Judgment card is about setting yourself free from old situations. So for you, I feel like you cling on a lot to the past. There's something about your past that you're holding on to. And that's the reason why you kept your heart in lockdown, in a sense. Because there's something there that you're not willing to let go. And I feel like Spirit is saying with the Judgment card here, it's time to let it go. It's time to move on. It's time to go in a different direction because this isn't working for you. And if you're honest with yourself, truth be told, you know that. There has to be a giveaway here. Your soul, I feel like your soul is shrinking in some way, staying here. Stop romanticizing the past. Stop thinking that, you know, that people are going to change. It's time for you to step into the King of Pentacles energy. Okay, let's pull this just to take the seriousness out of the reading. Okay. So, I'm getting drop the ego. Okay, hold on. Ask a expert. Don't rely on your friends or the internet. Listen to a professional. Okay, so some of you, again, you know, you got to be careful who you call friends. You got to be careful. Just make sure you're setting healthy boundaries as well. You know, if therapy is something that will help you, going to a life coach, going to some type of therapist. I feel like you need more motivation because look, we have orange here. Stop obsessing. You're not the center of the universe. Okay, so stop obsessing over things. You know, it's time to, again, review the facts, accept things at face value for what they are. Whining. You got a good thing going on. Don't ruin that stuff. Exactly. I feel like many of you are on your way to the King of Pentacles here. But if you keep going back and if you don't stop this behavior, we're going to end up here again in the Hanged Man energy. And we don't want to do that. We want to move forward. We want to reach this King of Pentacles energy. And be honest. And it's time to set it free. It's time for you to start anew. That's what the Judgment card is all about. Making peace with the past and starting a new cycle. Forgiving whoever it is that you need to forgive. Not for them, but for yourself, for your own growth, for your own spiritual journey, and for your spiritual path. So that is what I have for you guys. I hope this was helpful. I wish you the best. Take care of yourselves. It was an honor. Bye.